nephew Nathaniel has had medical problems since he was born. A few days after he was born, he had to go back to the hospital, was admitted for RSV. It's very common, but he had it, of course. When he was 3 years old, he had ear tubes placed in his ears. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but basically it's when your eardrum is full of fluid and you can't hear. Now this was when he was 3, so we had tested him several times, couldn't figure out why he wasn't kind of speaking correctly at the time. That was when he was 3. When he was 4 or 5, he was diagnosed with epilepsy and has medication for that. When he was 5 or 6, diagnosed with asthma, and again, medicated for that. All these things he is used to, rolls off his back like a duck, not a problem. He had food dye, red 40, and his whole body shut down. He was, excuse me, this was 4 years ago, about 4 Christmases ago, he had a solid red candy cane. And he's playing with the kids. We have 6 at the home. He's playing with them, having a good old time, no big deal. All of a sudden, he's not there anymore. He's physically there, but his mind had shut down. He couldn't speak. He couldn't remember our names. He couldn't remember his own name. And it scared us, of course, because that's the most odd thing to happen. Well, after he recovered from that, we realized it was the red in the candy cane, and we decided no more red for Nathaniel ever again. Not a big deal. Okay, so our whole life we go on and it's fine. Well, we didn't think that it was a specific red, we just figured red food items. So 2 Thanksgivings later, my sister, his mother, makes a pumpkin pie. And she made it from scratch except the actual frozen pie crust. She purchased that from the store. Apparently the frozen pie crust has red 40 in it. We did not know that. Nathaniel paid for it. He again had the same reaction, was talking, having a good time, everything was fine, very full, and all of a sudden gone. His mind just stopped. I can't imagine how terrifying that is, especially, for a 7-year-old, to just stop. His body won't function the way he tells it to. He couldn't even smile. We kept telling him to smile. He can't even remember how to smile. He couldn't get his face to work. Now, the point of this whole thing is to tell you guys about the dangers of food dye and the reason that they are dangerous, what they are made from, what kind of health problems they can cause. And what this will do for you is make you more knowledgeable consumers. So when you go grocery shopping, you'll be better prepared for what you're going to bring home. So with that, the 3 most popular food dyes in America are red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. These 3 different items they make up 90% of the food dyes that are in our foods today. That's 90% of them. So we're going to focus on those today. There are many different colors, blue, green, all kinds of stuff. We're gonna focus on those 3 because those 3 are the ones that America uses the most. Now, all 3 of these are made from a chemical called tartrazine. Tartrazine is taken from tar, and it is literally made from the refining of coal. It's a tar that comes from there. Now, this tar, the tartrazine, is also used in roofing materials. It keeps the shingles down. It sticks them down. It keeps things waterproof, seals things up for home builders, that sort of thing. This is the same stuff that we're consuming. Now, again, with the various different food dyes, not all of them are made from tartrazine. Some of them are made from different materials, such as petroleum, which I know is much better. I'd rather eat petroleum than tar, not really. So that's a problem. Both of them are poisonous and not really something that is good for human consumption. Now, you all may be thinking, well, how much do we really eat of food dye? I mean, seriously, how much can be in our food? If it's that unsafe, we're not going to have it in here. Well, I printed this up for you, skeptics. This is 102 pages, and that's the sound of 102 pages. What it basically is foods that have food dye in our current U.S. grocery stores right now. It shows the food dye that is in those foods, the year that it was found in those foods, and the names of these foods. Okay, there's a ton in there. Obviously, there's over 2,000. Now, if that's still, you still don't think that's a big deal, consider this. Michael F. Jacobson, Executive Director of the Center for Science in the Public Interest, he notes this. Every year, manufacturers pour about 15 million pounds of dyes into our foods. 15 million pounds of dye into our foods. Now, if you consider that these 3 food dyes that I told you about, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, make up 90% of that, you'll understand my next point. We know what they're made of, okay. We know it's not that great. I had forgotten to tell you that that actually came from the Institute of Agriculture and Trade Policy website, if anybody's interested. Now that we know what it's made of, the harmful effects are what really concerns us. I mean, that's what really concerned me. Nathaniel's reaction was beyond what I'd ever imagined. Now, the United Kingdom has been concerned about food dyes forever. So they have actually banned them in schools, in school cafeterias, several years ago. Just recently, in 2008, they conducted a test with 300 participants, most of which were children, and they tested 6 dyes to their country, 6 that are known to their country, 3 of which are the ones I've mentioned to you today, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. Now, they have different names for them, but their name is Allura Red for yellow, or red 40, Tarzine is yellow 5, and Yellow Sunset is yellow 6. These are all 3 our names for them. These are their names for them. Other than the name difference, that is exactly the same chemical. These are the effects here to here. The blue lets you know what country they've been banned from. That's important because they are not just safe in America, they're 90% of 15 million pounds in our food system. So that's kind of concerning. What did they find during their test? They did a very short test, and what they found was hyperactivity, stomach pain, behavioral disorders, and swollen skin. That doesn't sound pleasant to me, but swollen skin. Okay. This is the main part that I found was very intriguing. They came to a conclusion that up to 30% of ADHD sufferers don't suffer this disorder because of the disorder, but because of a reaction to their food dye. Their logical conclusion was eliminate it from our foods. They did. They took it out, 2008. Okay, those are short-term effects. Now, the ebook, Food Dyes, A Rainbow of Risk, made by the Center of Science in Public Interest, they document the long-term effects. They came to the same conclusions as the UK. They had the same exact problems, short-term. These were the long-term effects. Various tumors, nerve cell damage, toxicity, and even cancer. This is from a food dye that our country considers safe. The bottom line is, these food dyes are made from dangerous chemicals. They're made from chemicals we would never give our children. You would never say, here, have some petroleum. Oh, wait, eat that tar, that looks tasty. No, you would not do that. But these food dyes are made from that. The chemicals are what is causing the health defects or health problems, such as small things as allergic reactions, behavior disorders, tumors, and cancer. These are something that you guys, I'm hoping, as consumers, will now take notice of. You will be more knowledgeable when you go grocery shopping, and you will check your labels, because your loved ones and your own safety is at risk.
Great job, Christina, very informative. So now let's take a minute and